Hi, the month of April here in the US is college decision time. If you are in that process, stay tuned. I'm going to explore some of the considerations for that decision. Hi, welcome to Careers Cast. If you live in the US and you're a senior high school student, April is the time where you have applied to several colleges, you have received the admissions process responses, and now you have one or two or three or four choices, and you need to decide where to go. This is a difficult and stressful decision because as a student, right, you don't have the perspective to understand the consequences of the decision and what are the pros and cons and things like that. And the criteria that comes to mind tends to be things like where your friends are going, and whether it's a small city, big city, how far it is from home, and those things are important to the experience, but they should not be the main driver of your decision, right? I think the what ends up being the most important question has to do with financial resources for most people, because there is a big difference, right? For example, between staying in this state, in state tuition is somewhere for public schools $15,000. Out of state is somewhere between $40,000-50,000. So there is a three times difference between tuition, and typically parents are very worried about that. And so it is an important objective, and I think it's the most important objective criteria, because education is an investment, right? It's investment of time. You're gonna spend 4 years in college, and it is a financial investment as well. And because the tuition costs in the US are so high, it is difficult to get the return on investment, because as when you graduate from college, you get your first job. Your pay for most people are gonna be like between 50 and $150,000 per year. And if you consider the tuition cost, right, it is a very difficult equation to match, especially if your family doesn't have the resources to pay for it. So one thing I would say on that is be very aware that it's not easy to recover the investment financially. And if you're gonna finance the entire cost of your university attendance using student loans, be very careful, because student loan, you don't want to start your career, right, with $200,000-300,000 of debt. It is going to be very difficult for you to pay off those student loans if you're depending on your income, right, coming from the job you get after attending school. As far as picking the major and the classes, my recommendation is stay close to the core. Pick the majors that are durable. Pick the classes that are going to be useful for you in the future, right? So I see a lot of college offering classes that are very tactical, right? They're teaching you tactical skills for the work of yesterday, for the jobs of yesterday. My recommendation is, if you're going to marketing school, learn marketing. If you're going to computer science, learn computer science. Don't spend a lot of time learning about tools and specific platforms, how to use this tool to manage campaigns on Facebook, right? Or if you're in computer science, don't spend too much time learning on the tools to write code using this programming language. Programming language platforms are going to change. A lot of that you can learn on YouTube, you can learn on your own. You're going to university to learn things that are difficult to learn elsewhere, right? So focus on the core, stay close to the core. If your major is very specific about something, be careful, because all the job market, the taxonomy of the market is changing because of the adoption of new technology, artificial intelligence being the one everyone is talking about. So stay close to the core. The last thing I want to address is the relationship between parents and students. Because it's a major financial investment, parents are usually very worried about that. So my recommendation to parents is set the boundaries clearly, and empower your student to make the decisions and own the responsibility for them. Though you have more experience, you should provide guidance when asked, but not impose your views on the student. And if you're a student, right, you need to understand the reason why parents are worried about financial investment, but you should own that responsibility, right? And as long as you're not making decisions that are gonna either sacrifice your parents' financial situation or your future financial situation, you should own and should take responsibility for that. My recommendation is bet on success, right? You're going to university, you're going to learn skills and knowledge that are going to help you to be successful, and there is no point in going to university if you think you're going to fail, right? You need to commit to it, you need to use the time wisely, you need to bet you're going to be successful, and within that you should have the framework to make a good decision. You go to college for experience as well. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna learn how to be more independent, but primarily you're going to university to acquire the knowledge that will prepare you for life and for your career. And you need to focus on that, you need to use the time wisely, and you need to make good decisions. And I am not going to be able to give you the answers, but I hope this perspective helps you to focus on the right things in this very difficult moment where you need to make decisions without having the information you need for it to be an objective decision. So there is no science there. I want to take some of the responsibility in the sense that there is no huge difference, right, between this university and that university. Within reason, any university, mainstream university you go to, will give you the knowledge, will give you the opportunity, and will give you the context to launch a successful career. So there is no wrong decision as long as you're respecting those boundaries and you are considering the right things in the choice. So be happy, use the time wisely. Good luck in your decision, and see you in the next episode of Careers Cast, where you can learn what to do after you make that decision to be a successful professional in the future. See you. Bye.